What's up, y'all? I'm out here on the range, as you can see back behind me, on what turned out to be a old humid, kind of cloudy, dreary day. The sun's trying to peek out, but it never has really been able to. I've got a little nice breeze blowing, so it's kept the humidity down a little bit, but it's been a little swampy one out here for sure. That being said, I have gotten a couple of interesting tests done today, and I'm gonna round things out today with a little long barrel 9mm revisit. So the good old jelly contraptions out here hanging on in this wind with a couple of chronos and 2 blocks of gel. Now I've done a couple of tests again. This far block's got 2 or 3 tracks. This front one's got a couple of tracks, but they're on that back side, so should have plenty of room in the front, because I think we're only probably gonna need about half to 3/4 of this block. As always, I'm using a heavy clothing barrier that's got a layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And for this one here, we're checking out some 9mm that I've actually tested a couple times in the past, and a couple of other different calibers in this stuff. We got the Norma MHP, their Monolithic Hollow Point. Now this stuff is a light projectile. It's 108 grains, but it's supposed to be moving fast. Supposed to be 1,312 feet per second. Now everything I've tested this stuff out of, it usually falls short. It seems real inconsistent. The performance in the gel is just inconsistent because of the lack of velocity. It gets out of balance and wants to tumble and yaw and partial expansion. So I'm just not a huge fan of this stuff, I guess, long story short. But as y'all probably know, PSA usually has this stuff for dirt cheap. So I have people all the time commenting on the videos talking about picking some of them up just because it is so cheap. So recently I've had a couple people ask me to test it out of some longer barrels, because if you'll notice, that's 312. It's got the little asterisk there, and then if you look, you have to really search for it. Over here on the corner, that asterisk is got out of a 6-inch test barrel. So 6-inch barrel is what they're getting it out of. So that's why I've never hit that, because, and what's funny, on the inside flap here, it talks about expansion, blah, blah, blah. And it's got one size fits all, recommended for pistol carbines, full size, compact, sub, and ultra compact. So already that's a bold-faced lie. It don't perform, in my opinion, worth a darn out of a small stuff. But maybe that'll be different today, because we do have some longer barrels. The first one I've got here is my Canik TP9SFx. Now, I don't have anything exactly 6 inches. The longest handgun is probably this right here that I have as far as 9mm. This is a 5.2-inch barrel on this Canik, and then I'm gonna step it on up here to my Beretta PMXs. This has got a 6.9-inch barrel, so right at a 7-inch barrel. So this is almost an inch more than what they're claiming. So if we don't see that velocity out of this, then you ain't getting it no matter what. So it should be interesting to see if we can finally get this stuff to perform as listed. Let me get everything set up and let's check it out. All right, let's see what we can squeeze out of this stuff with these longer barrels. I'll do a 5-round average from each one, starting with this 5.2-inch Canik first. Remember, the box is saying 1312. Now, I almost forgot to mention, if y'all not familiar with my videos, this lab radar is going to give you multiple velocity readings. The large number is at the muzzle, and then you've got 5 additional across the bottom. One of them set for 3 yards, which is roughly where the gel is here at 10 feet, and then you've got 10, 15, 25, and 50. So let's see if we can hit 1312 with this 5.2-incher. I seriously doubt it. 1200, 1263, 1265, 1234, and 1253. So I didn't figure so, and that's actually a long way off to be with such a close barrel length. Let's check the average out. All right, so our 5-round average that time was 1,243 feet per second. The highest we hit was 1265, so had an extreme spread of 65 with a standard deviation of 27. I really expected it to be a little bit closer than that, being a 5.2-inch barrel. Well, let's reset it and see if even the PMX can hit that velocity. All right, let's see if this 6.9 inches will even get us there. It wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't. I'm gonna try to go a little bit forward up here to keep this blast off this radar so it don't act up. 1258, 1295, 1323, 1322, and 1316. So the first one didn't hit it, but the last three did. Let's check out the average. All right, so our 5-round average that time still didn't meet the velocity. The average was 1,303 feet per second. We was looking for 1312, and this PMX is almost an inch longer than what they're claiming it was tested it out of. Now we did on those last three, we had a 1323 is the high, but even still an inch longer, y'all, to even get a couple of them or a few of them that was over what they're claiming on the box. So that's why I think this stuff is just, I don't like this stuff. I think it's totally inconsistent. It does not live up to what they're claiming. It never does. So anyway, 1303, we had an extreme spread of 65 and a standard deviation of 27.5. So 1303 there. And if you remember out that Canik, it was 1243. So you're talking about 60 feet per second faster with the 6.9-inch barrel out of that PMX. So not a whole bunch of difference really. That being said, they're probably both going to do fine in the gel. A lot of times, again, they're not really consistent when they expand. Hopefully this extra velocity will get them to expand really nicely and maybe stay straight and not yaw out the side of the block. But let's get this stuff reset and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's if it ain't long, it acts wrong, jelly time. We'll put one of each in the gel, starting with this 5.2-inch Canik first. Again, I'm sure this stuff's gonna do okay. I just hope it don't swerve out on me. All right, it should have been a nice one. Let me go see what I got. All right, y'all, that right there was definitely not what I expected. That's one of the worst performances I've seen yet from this stuff. I mean, absolutely zero expansion, zero expansion. It almost cleared both of those blocks of gel down there. So I'm gonna send one more through this Canik before I get to PMX just to see what the heck happened there. I mean, it was right at 1200, so good gracious, this stuff is just bad. All right, let's see what happened with that one down there. All right, y'all, once again, that's definitely not at all what I expected. Neither one of those things expanded. I've got it pulled back now to show y'all how far it went, but I'll show you when we look it over. All this really does, that surprises me, but this just reinforces my opinion that this stuff is trash. This stuff is absolute inconsistent trash. Why do you think it went from 40 bucks all the way down to $7 now? I mean, they were absolutely just ripping people off. 40 bucks for this trash is what this stuff was at. That's insane, y'all. Let's see what this PMX does. If this one right here don't expand, then good gracious, I don't even know what else to say. Let's see what I can do. All right, I got pretty big point of impact drop on that, so I hope I'm in the right place. Let's go see what we got. All right, y'all, let's take a look at this trash down here and make no mistake about it. This stuff is absolute trash down here. There's absolutely no mistaking that. No expansion from either one of these out of a 7-inch barrel from that PMX. So it's like the longer the barrel, the faster I sent it, it did worse. This is the worst I've seen it do yet. So as you can see, we got 3 different tracks here. The one right here, that's the first one from the Canik. It's not the very bottom, but the top. I'm so far back, I'll get y'all a little closer here in a minute though. You can see it zips right on through here, zips right through that first block. Right there, I'm sure is a tumble, because as you can see, it keeps on going and sitting down here backwards, probably about 2 inches from the end of this first block, and zero expansion, absolutely no thought of any kind of expansion. So then I sent that second one from the Canik. That's the one up above at the top there, not with all this big disruption, but right up above that. Again, same exact story. Nothing but just a straight line all the way through that block, goes into the second one, and it's behind this track right here, but none of these tracks overlap with anything. So behind that one keeps on trucking, and that one also is sitting backwards and looks like maybe it's about 1 inch or 2 inches shorter than this one right here. But again, absolutely no thought even of any kind of expansion. So then the last one was the PMX. I thought surely we'll get something from this, but absolutely not. It comes in here again, straight line, starts tumbling right here, that's probably because it was moving faster and just got destabilized. This stuff is just terribly unstable, unpredictable, inconsistent. I mean, it just tumbled all through here, went into this second block, and it ended up straight after all the tumbles, sitting there again, zero expansion, not any kind of thought of expansion. So as far as the penetration on this stuff, I mean, this one down here, y'all, is all the way to 30 inches. 30 inches of forward momentum on that. The second one from the Canik is 28 inches. And then the one from the PMX here is at 23, just barely over 23, so 23 inches. So just ridiculous penetration on all three of these because they didn't get any expansion whatsoever. Here's your closer look of them. Again, this one down here on the bottom, that's the Canik, and then there's the one right there. That's the one, the second one from the Canik, and then right below it, that's the PMX. But as you can see, I mean, it's nothing. It's literally nothing. It zips all the way through here, all the way through, keeps on going, tumbles right there, all the way down here, and then there you can see it, zero attempted expansion. Same thing with the one from the PMX. That one right there had several more tumbles. You can see all that tumbling right there. But if we go up to the top here, same kind of deal. That's the PMX, but we'll follow this one from the Canik. Again, it crosses back over right there, and you can see it sitting down there backwards with absolutely no expansion. All right, let's take a look at these projectiles. One word sums this up: trash. There ain't no other way to describe this stuff. This stuff is absolute trash. You can make whatever kind of excuses in the book that you want to make for this junk, but it is inconsistent, unreliable, unpredictable garbage. Now, one thing I want to get out of the way is I know there's some of y'all CCI salesman fangirls out there who can't stand it so bad right now. You want to go down there and parrot that garbage that your hero CCI salesman fed to you about this being the wrong gel. Let me tell you what, before you get out of here and don't come back, take a look at the previous 2 tests that I did today in this same gel, and you'll get a good look at what good performing ammo looks like, you smooth brains. But for the rest of y'all out there that don't need Velcro shoes, I mean, there's absolutely no excuse for this garbage. Well, we may as well get some numbers on it since I've got it pulled and everything. I don't see any kind of loss. I'm sure there's not. This stuff started at 108. This one here is at 108.3, so nothing lost there. And I can tell you all of them have cloth just stuffed full in it, just stuffed full of cloth. So this one here, that one is actually 107.9, nothing again, nothing lost there. And then this last one here, that one is at 108.4. So again, nothing lost on any of them because they didn't do anything to be able to lose any material. Size-wise, not really anything to look at, but I'll do some diameter and length. You got 355 and 650, 354 and 651, and 347 with 654. So there you are once again with another disappointing performance from this Norma MHP. There's no wonder. Why in the world would you think they went from 40 bucks a box on this stuff down to $7? They know this stuff's trash. They absolutely know it. There is no way, no how I would ever buy any of this trash, even for $5 a box. It is no good for nothing. It's unpredictable, inconsistent. It just does not do anything that you want a defensive round to do. All right, y'all, I was hoping to go 3 for 3 out here today for good performance, but I guess you can't expect to win them all. If I said anything more about this stuff right here, it would just be me repeating over and over just how trash and terrible that I think this stuff is. The longer the barrel, the worse it does, apparently. You get more velocity, but you get zero expansion. At least with the shorter and compact mid-size stuff that I've tested, you get some expansion, even if it's irregular. This right here, you got absolutely nothing. But I've said all I'm gonna say about this stuff right here. Me personally, I wouldn't pick it up at any cost. But let me know down in the comments what y'all think about it. Any of y'all out there actually run this stuff, or have some of y'all picked it up just because it's so cheap right now? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are, and what do you think about the performance you saw from it today. If you enjoyed the video, as always, take a second, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn on those notifications so you get notified when I upload new stuff. Take a second if you're doing some shopping and check out those affiliate links in the video description. Anything you buy after hitting those links up, I get a kickback from them toward the channel, so I really do appreciate that. As always, a big thanks to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for showing the support that y'all do. Definitely some some interesting stuff done out here today, and I've got some real good ones planned, so stay on the lookout. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.